If you've been diving into Slay the Spire 2 and suddenly heard someone whisper about a card called Hidden Gem, you're in the right place. This little beauty can enchant a random card in your draw pile with Replay, and that's where things get wild. Replay lets you play that enchanted card multiple times while only paying its cost once. Yes, you heard that right. If it lands on the right card in your deck, your power level can spike out of control in a single turn. The catch? Just like the name suggests, finding Hidden Gem isn't guaranteed. You'll need a bit of luck on your side. In this Slay the Spire 2 Hidden Gem and Replay guide, we're going to break down exactly how you can obtain Hidden Gem and fully understand how the replay effect actually works in practice. Because once you know how to build around it, this isn't just a cool gimmick, it's a run-defining mechanic. So if you're ready to turn one enchanted card into a combo engine, let's jump in and see how to make Hidden Gem shine. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. Hidden Gem is one of those sneaky little power cards in Slay the Spire 2 that can completely spike your run if it hits the right target. It is a colorless skill that costs 1 energy, and when you play it, a random card in your draw pile gains Replay 2. That means you can play that card multiple times while only paying its cost once, which can get out of control very quickly. If you upgrade it to Hidden Gem Plus, it becomes even crazier, granting Replay 3 instead. And since it is colorless, every single one of the 5 characters can use it. Now, because it is a colorless card, you cannot just pick it up through normal character card rewards. You need to look for specific sources. The most reliable way to get Hidden Gem is by visiting the merchant. When you are planning your route on the map, keep an eye out for the little gold bag icons that mark shop locations. If you really want a chance at Hidden Gem, you should be actively pacing toward at least one shop during your run. When you enter the merchant's shop, you will see a rotating selection of items. The merchant usually sells 5 character-specific cards, 3 relics, 3 potions, and 2 colorless card options. Hidden Gem can appear as one of those 2 colorless choices. It is not guaranteed, so sometimes you walk in, check the shop, and it just is not there. That is completely normal. The inventory changes every time you visit a shop, so each merchant encounter is a fresh roll. If you do not see Hidden Gem the first time, do not panic. Try to route into another merchant later in the act or in a future act. Because the shop stock refreshes, every visit gives you another chance to find it. And when you finally grab it and it lands on a high impact attack or scaling card in your deck, that is when you start seeing why Hidden Gem and Replay can completely take over a run in Slay the Spire 2. There is also another way to hunt down Hidden Gem, and that is through unknown rooms. On your map, these are marked with a question mark, and they can lead to all kinds of random events. Sometimes you will be offered the chance to add a colorless card to your deck. When that happens, you are essentially rolling the dice, and if luck is on your side, Hidden Gem might show up as one of the options. It is not guaranteed, but if you are already taking a flexible path through question mark rooms, this can be a nice bonus opportunity. You might also run into certain ancients in Slay the Spire 2 who offer you a selection of colorless cards as part of their event rewards. However, it is not fully confirmed whether Hidden Gem can appear in those specific ancient rewards. So while it is possible in theory, you should not rely on this method. If you really want Hidden Gem, the merchant remains the most consistent and reliable source, with unknown rooms acting as a potential lucky shortcut. If the merchant refuses to cooperate and Hidden Gem just will not show up in the shop, do not give up on the run. There are still other ways to access colorless cards in Slay the Spire 2. Certain relics and even specific character cards can generate colorless cards for you either permanently through rewards or temporarily during combat. That means even if you never directly buy Hidden Gem, you still have ways to roll into it. Let us start with relics. Some relics directly increase your access to colorless cards. Dingy Rug allows your normal card rewards to contain colorless cards, which opens the door for Hidden Gem to appear after combat. Toolbox gives you a choice of 1 out of 3 random colorless cards at the start of every combat and adds the selected card directly into your hand. Orange Doe goes even further by automatically adding 2 random colorless cards into your hand at the start of each combat. All 3 relics dramatically increase your chances of seeing Hidden Gem at some point during a run. Now let us talk about character-specific tools, especially if you are playing the Regent. The Regent has multiple cards that generate colorless cards, making this character particularly good at fishing for Hidden Gem. The more random colorless generation you stack, the more often you get to spin the wheel and hope Replay shows up on something important. Quasar is one of the cleanest options. It is a skill that costs 0 energy normally or 2 energy when upgraded, and it allows you to choose 1 out of 3 random colorless cards to add into your hand. This is basically a mini merchant effect during combat, which means you can actively look for hidden gem in the middle of a fight. Manifest Authority is another useful skill. For 1 energy, it grants 7 block and adds 1 random colorless card into your hand. It gives you defense and a chance at value at the same time. Then there is Spectrum Shift, a power that costs 2 energy and adds 1 random colorless card into your hand at the start of every turn. Over a longer fight, this can generate a massive number of colorless cards. Finally, Bundle of Joy is a 2 energy skill that adds 3 random colorless cards into your hand before exhausting. That is 3 separate chances in a single play to potentially find hidden gem and start abusing the replay mechanic. Replay is one of the most explosive new mechanics in Slay the Spire 2. When a card has a replay value, it automatically plays additional times equal to that number whenever you use it. So if a card has replay 2, you play it once, and then it immediately plays 2 more times. Hidden Gem applies replay 2 to a random card in your draw pile, and that effect lasts for the rest of the combat. If you upgrade Hidden Gem, it grants replay 3 instead, which means that single card will fire off 3 extra times every time you play it. What makes this so strong is that almost any card becomes significantly better with replay. Even if it lands on a basic strike or defend, you are essentially getting 3 total plays for the cost of 1. That is incredible value, but if it lands on a scaling attack, a powerful skill, or a key power card, the impact can be ridiculous. And the best part is that Hidden Gem does not exhaust after you use it, so if you draw it again in the same combat, you can apply replay to another card and stack even more chaos. This is where things really start to snowball. Decks that run multiple power cards benefit especially hard from replay because triggering those effects multiple times in a single turn can completely overwhelm enemies. The right combination can turn an average run into something that feels completely unfair in your favor. One lucky hidden gem hit on a high impact card can carry an entire boss fight. If your runs have been feeling inconsistent or you are struggling to close out fights, learning how to properly abuse mechanics like replay can make a huge difference. Building around value engines, planning your draw pile, and knowing when to invest in cards like Hidden Gem are all part of leveling up your strategy in Slay the Spire 2. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.